Okay, let's talk about TV shows now. Still superhero stuff. Mostly this stuff will be CW because they do a really good job of TV shows, and I watch a lot of them. So we'll kick off with stuff that's already out. I have all this list out of order, so I'm sure I will screw this up.
What would the two be, like CW and Netflix that make the superheroes?
Yeah.
Is there another one? Yeah, it's just those two.
I think that's it. From what I watch, at least. So the first one is The Flash because that's the best one.
Honestly, I agree with you.
It's the best one, yeah. The Grant Gustin, who plays the Flash, does a really good job. He encapsulates what the Flash is about, moral code kind of stuff, but still has the crappy joke kind of stuff, which fits. He's smarter than the average person, but he's not a genius, so he needs geniuses to help him. There's a team, and this is for people who have not seen the show, by the way. There's like a team of people who help. How far are you in the show, by the way? Am I going to spoil stuff for you? Like, what season? There's 4.
In the very last. I'm on the 4th season.
How much have you seen?
I know, he comes back, and him and Iris get back. I think I'm on, episode 3.
Wow. Okay, so there's a lot that happens in season 4. You care if I say anything?
No, we're okay. I'm doing it for the podcast.
Okay. Basically, what happens each season for the Flash, and they do this kind of for the Arrow too, is they pick a main villain that's going to be an issue, but there's a bunch of smaller villains that go along the way for each episode, But there's a chronological story that happens, and there's a main goal they're always going for. And in the newest season, they're going to try and stop this guy who's trying to...
The smart guy.
Yeah, he's like a genius. His name is DeVoe. He's trying to stop him from doing whatever he has planned, and they're not really sure for most of the time, but... the people... Okay, so...
I've seen up to where, he gives all the people on those, that bus, powers.
Sure, yeah. And that's, the whole, that's the basis for the whole series, is, they're just tracking down those people the whole time. And I'm not going to spoil anything. I rethink that. We're just going to basically talk about the gist of the show, why we like it, I guess. It's easier that way. Yeah, it's less talking, and it won't be another 40-minute thing about what we did with the movies.
It'd be good to have a short podcast.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know she was down there.
Yeah, that was terrifying. It sounded like
dog. Not like human.
No, it's a human baby. I'm editing all that out. That's why I looked down. Okay, back to it. So The Flash is... it's good. It's got 4 seasons. Typical TV show format, about an hour per episode, so 40 minutes. Yeah. It's a spin-off from The Arrow, which is also a good show. We'll get to that in a second. But The Flash is the second of the CW superhero shows. It came just after The Arrow. And it's really cool.
Isn't it third? Isn't Smallville the first one?
Yeah, I guess technically. Smallville's really good. I should have added that in. Smallville is a very good show. If you like Superman and you like superheroes in general, Smallville is very good.
Started it all.
Yeah, that was my first Netflix binge watch, and that was when you had to get them through the mail. You had to get the DVDs through the mail.
Jesus.
God, it was painful. I would have to wait a month or what felt like a month to watch 4 episodes on a CD. It was the worst.
Mine was Lost. It was the first one I binge watched.
I watched Lost after that. Yeah. Lost was intense. Okay, anyways, so The Flash, they do a really good job of... the CGI is really good for a TV show. It's the red and yellow blur that goes by in the comics, but it's in TV show. They do a good job of slowly developing the skills that the Flash has in the comic books that he develops, phasing through walls, controlling immediate time around him because he's so fast. The Flash is not just the fastest man alive. The Flash has a set of subclass powers he has that he accesses along the way. He can throw freaking lightning, he can time travel, he can run on... he can do a bunch of stuff. The Flash is literally limitless. In the comics, he literally outruns death. So, the Flash is the super strongest superhero.
It's why he's at, super speed or whatever. I guess not technically, he gets into Speed Force. I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff, but it's almost time's frozen.
Yeah, it's called Flash time. He can slow time for him so much that it's moving a fraction of a second is minutes for him. Yeah. Essentially. And he can run around the whole city in the matter of a second while in this time, but it drains the crap out of him obviously for stamina, and he can transition the energy to other people so they can do the same thing, so he does it to other speedsters. It's he's got Speed Force powers. He's not just a speedster. He's got Speed Force powers, is the best way to put it. And in the comics, side note, in the comics, there's this huge Flash War. It's called Flash War that's going on, and it's the post-crisis thing for DC. If you read comics, you know what I'm talking about. This is your lingo. Essentially, what that means is a big event happened in DC, and they call them crises instead of like...
Crisis would be like Infinity War.
Yeah, similar. They just have different names for them. And it's like post that, where Redhead Wally West comes back. If you're reading comics, you know why that's important. And you find out how the Flash is actually slow in comparison to Wally West, and Wally West generates Speed Force firsthand, while Barry generates the Speed Force. It's different. Anyways, it's really cool. Like they're starting to open up the Flash universe a lot more as the season goes on. With each season, they're like Kid Flash is now in it, and they're just like they've got Jesse Quick and all that kind of stuff, which is actually Flash Family, and they've got Joe Garrick and all that stuff. It's really cool. What do you think of the Flash? I know you like it, but like, what are your
Flash? I mean, Flash is probably my favorite, just because of all the things you said. Mm-hmm. And like aside from the Batman stuff, I did say like Flash is my like second favorite hero. Mm-hmm. So I definitely got into it. But like, I mean, like we were talking about it like live. Like I haven't finished like season 4, so I couldn't really like, talk about it. But if there's one I keep up with the most, it is a Flash, because I haven't finished Arrow, didn't really get into Supergirl that much.
Supergirl's interesting. Like you have to want to watch it. You can't just like be brought to it.
Legends of Tomorrow. Watched the first season, maybe the second season too. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. Just because I like the girl from the Arrow. I thought she was really hot. So
Sarah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah, the Flash is my favorite CW one they made.
Mm-hmm. They just do a really good job. Like the writing, it's nothing special, but it's like it's good. It's it helps the story go along. They don't have weird issues with like all the time travel they do. You know
hold on. Another thing I like about it, like in the Arrow, like the drama part on it, like would get like so aggravated. Like Laurel. Mm-hmm. I couldn't freaking stand when Laurel talked. Like, I hate Laurel. I was so glad when she died. But that was a spoiler. Anyways, yeah, she dies. But like, the Arrow, like, is really, like, with Thea and, like, all the drama. Yeah. Like, I feel like the Flash doesn't have... there's definitely drama in the Flash, but it doesn't have as much of it. Mm-hmm. It's more humor based. Like, there's like it makes you laugh. Like it's a show you'll watch and you'll like actually LOL. And I don't know. That's why it's my favorite mainly. I wish that DC would inherit their TV show predecessors, as in like make the Flash in the movies, because he fits he's really good. Grant Gustin is a very good actor, and he fits the Flash like actually. Oh yeah. For like when like Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's just, like, he fits the character of the Flash so well.
Justice League, yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, he should be the Flash. And, like, the guy and the guy that plays Oliver Queen...
Should be the Green Arrow.
Yeah, Stephen Amell. I think he should be the Green Arrow. I don't know. These are probably biased because I watched the crap out of these shows. Like,
and Batman should be, shoot, I can't even think of his name. From the Batman movies.
Christian Bale.
Yes.
He was. He's already been Batman. They did a whole trilogy with him. No,
but in Batman vs Superman.
Oh.
Yeah, he should be. Like, Christian Bale should be Batman.
I don't know. I like Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck does a good job. It's just there's very iffy writing, and the movies have not been well made. It has nothing...
The CGI is so terrible.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with Ben Affleck. That's not his fault.
I know. That was another side note.
Yeah, the CGI is terrible. Like, when you see the Flash run in the Justice League, just watch. It's he looks like a limp carcass running. He's like, oh.
And the Wonder Woman's rope.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's rope is very... It looks extremely fake. Anyways, The Flash I would rank as my top superhero movie.
I feel like a bunch of people would agree with that.
Yeah. I got a couple of friends that like Zach, if he's watching this, every time he comes over, I ask, hey, how much of The Flash have you watched? Let's talk about it every time.
Zach.
Honeycutt.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Even I mean like a bunch of people get in. Like girls that I worked at with the daycare watch like.
It's a good show. Yeah, it's a good show. And plus, it doesn't help that the people on it are always good looking. So it's something good to look at.
It's a lot.
Anyways, the next one is Arrow. Arrow was my first love when it came to CW that wasn't Smallville. I didn't realize Smallville was CW because I watched it on Netflix. But Arrow was my, the first one that really got me like all the way into paying attention to comics for real. Because it, like the Arrow is, for those who don't know, the Arrow, the character, is much like Batman. He is brought the same way. He has these terrible past life issues that bring him to this point where he feels like he needs to save the world, but he doesn't have superpowers, so he uses what he can. So Arrow uses a bow and arrow, and he's a very good detective. He's smart.
Like the first few seasons were so awesome.
Yeah, they were. It was a lot of combat in him because at the beginning Arrow kills people a lot. It's like his whole thing. He's like murdering people, but as he goes, he slowly becomes more Batman-y, as in like he just beats the crap out of people.
And like all the island flashbacks, and I said this earlier, like this is obviously be the last podcast to come out, so they'll already know this, right? Mm-hmm. That I was a huge Teen Titans fan, so like Deathstroke's in Arrow, he's like a huge villain in Arrow, and I don't know, like
he's in it throughout. He's in the new seasons too.
Yeah,
I caught up with that. The new seasons, okay. So for those who watched Arrow and then stopped, the new season's better. He gets this. He has like this little league of heroes from Star City of his own, and it's like low grade heroes just like him. So he's got like a few people that he gets together, and it's like a squad instead of just him and Diggle. So it's pretty cool. Oliver becomes mayor. It's all this crazy turmoil goes down.
I've seen up till where he's mayor, and that he's trying to get like I don't know the new heroes' names, but like there's the guy that looks like the guy from Ninja Turtles.
I think his name's Mad Dog.
Yeah, and then there's like the gay guy.
Yeah, he's Mr. Terrific.
Mr.
He's
Terrific.
He's a hero in the comic books.
And then there's a girl.
I don't remember her name, but she's essentially like this detective lady who, she's the new Black Canary. So she's got the voice powers. But yeah, Arrow's good. I like it. I binge watch it when this new season's come out on Netflix because that's what I do now. I don't like watching I watch all my stuff on my computer. I don't watch live TV unless it's a sporting event much. So I watch all these things.
Just watch them on Reddit anyways. So it's still on the computer.
Oh yeah, I probably could do that. Watch them live as they come out.
It's all about watching Astros games.
That's what I should do. Anyways, so after the Arrow came the Flash, and then after the Flash came Supergirl. Supergirl's actually pretty good. The way they do this one, though, is she's not actually in their world. This is where they start introducing the multiverse into the TV shows, which is cool. She's on a different Earth.
They have a bunch of combined episodes.
Yeah,
BTW,
where, each season they have a huge crossover for 3 episodes. It's like a whole week event. They did a Planet X one on the new season, which is pretty cool. Planet X is essentially Nazi world, so it's like the evil them are Nazis, but the evil guys are good guys and the good guys are bad guys, so on and so forth. It's really cool. It's like a 4-day event, not 3, because Legends of Tomorrow is part of it too. Mm-hmm. So it's like a whole week of just crazy crossover events. And Supergirl's cool. The girl they got to do is Melissa Benoist or something like that. Benoist or something like that. I can't remember her name. It's Melissa something. And she's good. She fits, blonde hair, athletically built. Supergirl. She's a good actor, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty. The first few episodes of the show are pretty drama-y, not much superhero-y. But as it goes, there's more that comes along. Like the Martian Manhunter gets introduced.
Really? I didn't know that. I don't watch Supergirl.
Yeah, it's Martian Manhunter, and they show him going back from human to Martian form. They go to Mars a few times, fight the evil Martians.
See, that's crazy. We were talking about this in the car the other day about the Martian maybe being the most powerful person in.
Oh
DC.
Yeah, he arguably could be, definitely, because he's got all these crazy powers. He's like Superman, but can go through walls and shapeshift and shit and read minds.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you put off watching Supergirl because it's Supergirl and you don't think you'd be into it, it's actually, if you get past the first, I'll say 5 episodes of the first season, it gets good. I think there's 3 seasons now. on Netflix. So you should give it a watch. It's actually solid. The writing's nothing special. Jimmy Olsen is a very tall black man. And in the comics, he's a short white kid. So that's a bit abrupt. But it fits. Like, the actor's good, so it's fine. It's nothing to worry about. So.
And you kind of have to watch all of them to get the crossovers.
Yeah, you do. You can watch like one episode at a time and then go back and watch them all at once or something. Yeah. But they're really cool. As all of these shows have started to progress, and during their crossovers, they do these huge shots of all the superheroes in one shot, and there are tons now. In the newest one, after they do the Planet X, there's like 15 to 20 heroes of like just across the board from all the different shows. There's a lot of stuff. It's really cool. They've started to develop it a lot, and I'm thinking they're gonna just like keep pumping out these shows because in a minute we'll get to them. There's actually more shows coming out. Yeah. So I'm hoping. Oh man, it would be so cool if these shows started intertwining with the existing ones that we're about to get to. Oh, that would be so dope. Oh, like Kid Flash would be part of it. Oh, okay. Anyways, we'll get to it in a second. It'll make sense. Okay. Yeah. So after Supergirl is The Legends of Tomorrow. And The Legends of Tomorrow is cool. It's about this time-traveling anti-hero guys. So, like, Captain Cold, Rory, who is the guy, Captain Cold's partner, he uses fire instead, are part of it, who are criminals from The Flash. Sarah Lance is on it, who's from The Arrow, and she's kind of like an anti-hero. She's a hero, but she doesn't mind killing people.
There's a hero from basically each show.
Yeah. It's a crossover show in its own. And basically the point of
What's his name?
Firestorm's in it as well. Firestorm's really cool.
No, not Fire. The guy that like has the suit.
Yeah, Trip. Trip is the head of it.
No, not Trip. The guy that has the suit, like that can he's basically Iron Man.
I have no clue what you're talking about. Firestorm. Firestorm's the guy that has like fire and stuff.
I know where it's that guy and the doctor and they combine and make Firestorm. But no, the guy in the suit and he's from.
Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Thank you.
Duh. Yeah. The Atom. The Atom's in it, and the Atom's really cool. And like as it starts, it's Rip getting all these people together in one place, and he convinces them to go save the entire timeline. Basically, there's these time anomalies that they have to go stop, and
they stop time travelers from changing time.
Yeah. They try to stop like bad guys from doing really bad things that would literally destroy everything and change how the world comes out. Like they're time police. Yeah. But what he doesn't tell them is that they're doing it illegally and without permission from the actual time government. Yeah. I guess is the best way to put it. And like I don't know. There's a chaos ensues. It's a good show. It does a really cool job of action's always going. There's always something going on, and the weird time travel stuff doesn't really mess with it. They explain what's happened a lot with that kind of stuff. Like they tell you when something weird's going on. They make it obvious when time travel becomes an issue. You know, you're not left in the dark and wondering, and it's not like guessing work on your part. Like they clarify a lot. And what they do, like all the time travel ends up adding up to something, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. It's a bunch of superheroes fighting together as a squad. It's like a mini Justice League of anti-heroes, kind of. And it evolves as the season goes. Like in the newest season, Kid Flash joins and Firestorm leaves. I don't want to spoil how that happens if you watch the show because it's pretty important. But that happens. So I mean, I advise watching it. Legends of Tomorrow. It kind of goes with Supergirl. It goes with Arrow. It goes with Flash. They're all crossover events. They go together. They're really cool. TV shows on CW are pretty cool at this moment, and that's not exaggerating. Like they're actually really good.
Yeah.
All right. So on Netflix, Marvel owns Netflix superhero shows. Basically, they're the head of it. So the first one that came out was Daredevil, and Daredevil was dope.
I like Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil's really cool.
To let y'all know, Daredevil's the only one I've watched of the Netflix ones.
Okay, yeah. That's good to know. Okay, so Daredevil's really cool. They introduced the Punisher through that. They do their own crossover thing with all the
Punisher on there.
I know, but I'm talking about it now.
There we go.
Punisher's really dope. So, okay, I'll finish Daredevil first. So, the Daredevil's really cool. The guy that plays Matt Murdock does a really good job. He convinces me that he could possibly be blind in real life. I don't know, he plays it off very well. There's a cool storyline to it. Typical ninja shit goes on. The fighting scenes are not very dramatic. They're pretty realistic, which is cool. Like, it's very tight hallways where he fights 5 guys at once, and he's, like, running off the walls and wall kicking people, and, like, he looks fucking exhausted when he's done fighting. Like, he legitimately looks like he just put in a shit ton of work. It's really cool. It's like
more like Batman fighting.
Yeah, it's like Batman, but less extravagant. Like, he's literally a blind man fighting 5 people using his other senses to fight.
Yeah, and he'll get, like, beat up, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
he's
not
always
like he just, like, wins.
He's always beat up, which introduces the nurse. She's a black nurse. I can't remember her name. Claire.
Oh, yeah.
She's very important because she is the link between all of the Netflix shows are because of her. Like, all the heroes unite because she knows them all and gets them together. Let's see. Okay, so after Daredevil, it introduces, and there's 2 or 3 seasons of that, and they're all pretty good. They've each got their own little storyline, and it's got like very Oliver Queen-esque evilness to it, as in like the criminals are very similar to the ones in the Arrow. It's like criminal syndicate type stuff that they're fighting. So the Punisher comes next, and if you don't know who the Punisher is, you need to look him up because the Punisher is the Deadpool of. It's very equivalent to Deadpool. But doesn't have superpowers. He's basically an ex-Navy SEAL who kind of had PTSD, and for a while goes on like a huge murder spree because his family was killed, and he's trying to get revenge for them. Basically, it's the best way to put it, simplest terms. And he uses his expert military knowledge to just destroy people. He literally murders everyone, and he uses guns. He uses like sawed-off shotguns to the head, that type of stuff. It's very brutal. And in like the second season, Daredevil and him confront each other, and Daredevil convinces him to be a somewhat good guy, to at least kill the bad guys and not the good guys. And the guy they pick is the guy that plays Shane from The Walking Dead. I can't remember his name off the top of my head for real, but if you know who that is, he's the perfect fit for Punisher. Have you seen Punisher?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I'm saying the Daredevil episodes.
You would love Punisher for real, though. Punisher is really good. You need to watch it. It's very gritty. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of fighting, and it's very government conspiracy-y, but it's not like too much. It's like a gist of it. So after that comes Iron Fist, and I'm assuming you haven't watched this either.
Okay, so another concept.
Iron Fist is, well, basically the dude channels his chi. His fist becomes like iron, and he's a very good martial artist, and it's okay. It's not my favorite of the Defenders, which is like when all of them are combined. When I'm done talking, you'll know who the Defenders are. But Iron Fist is pretty good. It's not going to be your favorite show, but it's going to be something that you can waste time watching. You'll get something out of it. You get to watch people get beat up by a martial artist. The acting's not great. The writing's not great. It's all in New York, so it's pretty generic New York shots. There's nothing extravagant. They talk about this weird Asian culture, very old stuff, which is what it's all about. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I would watch it. I advise watching it if you're going to watch Jessica Jones, which is the next show. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Daredevil all make their own B-class Avengers, I guess is the way to put it, you know? So Jessica Jones is the next one. She's like a private eye detector who just has super strength for whatever reason. It doesn't really explain it. No, it might, but I just don't remember. But there's a couple of seasons. I mean, honestly, I just don't. I watch too many shows to remember it all. Honestly, but yeah, she's super strong, and she's a detective, a private eye who tries to help people. Like, go find my cheating husband, and that's what she does and does that type of stuff. And it people from her past and stuff like that find out like how strong she is, and she ends up she's a very anti-hero. She does not want to be a hero whatsoever. And it's her trying to not go do that. She's trying to find every excuse not to go be a hero, but she ends up, going to save a few people. She has, in the first season, there's one main villain she ends up fighting, and it's very mental psychotic shit, mind games. Like, he just messes with her. It's a guy that has powers, and he can basically make people do what he wants. Is the best way to put it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's really cool, and it's pretty dark. She's an alcoholic with a lot of mental issues, like a lot of just shit wrong with her. Just like, you know, she's not all there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, these shows are way darker than the CW ones.
Very much so. So the next one is Luke Cage. Luke Cage is okay. It takes place in Harlem, and it's got a very soulful blues vibe to it musically. It's like, if you know what,
that's descriptive.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you know the music that comes out of Harlem, it's very, very Harlem. Like, it's all about the Harlem culture. Literally, like, the whole show is about the Harlem culture. And Luke Cage is this big black man, very strong. He used to be a cop, but he went to prison. And while in prison, someone ran some sketchy tests on him, and a freak occurrence happened, and he basically has bulletproof skin, and it like meshes together, so like it just can't penetrate his skin. You need like a very special bullet.
He's like the Iron Fist, but like all over the body, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how you described it to me.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Is he's like got it's like Velcro, really, really tightly strung as his skin together, so it's really hard to penetrate it. Like it's very just meshed together, like bulletproof stuff. And he's super.
It's like same concept with Kevlar.
Just like as his skin and better. And it doesn't get messed up after a hit. He like the whole first season, you're gonna kind of get tired of it if you watch the show. But he always wears a hoodie, and he's walking around listening to music, and like people will shoot him, and they just destroy his hoodie. But he's fine. And he's like, I just got this. Like it happens a lot. Like he has holes in his hoodie like every episode, or shirt or whatever. It's like his thing. Because for some reason people keep shooting him over and over and over. I think that's like the biggest fault. Why would, if you know who Luke Cage is, why would you shoot him at all with a gun? Why would you waste your money with bullets?
I mean, bullets are definitely really expensive.
Yeah, like what the heck? Okay, it frustrates me. Okay, when I watch that show, it's still a good show though. The second season is better than the first, so get through the first one. The second season's better. There's a cooler enemy. And the second one, it's very he's fighting Jamaicans, and it's very cool.
Oh.
I think it's Jamaicans. I could be very politically incorrect there. Honestly, I think it's Jamaican heritage people, but I'm not 100% sure. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But the Iron Fist makes a cameo in the second season, which is really cool because in the comics, those two guys are besties. So, it makes sense. And then when Daredevil, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage all unite their powers, they become the Defenders of New York. Literally, they're called the Defenders, and there's a season of that. There's like 8 episodes of them like fighting this huge crime syndicate. And they're trying to stop them from taking over and destroying New York because they're all from New York and they want to protect where they're from. And they're like all from like the 4 different boroughs, which is kind of cool.
Oh, so like Staten Island and all that. That's how we were talking about earlier with the Spider-Mans. Okay.
Yeah, kind of.
That's cool.
All those shows are pretty good. If you need something to watch and you want to watch superhero stuff and you haven't watched any of those, you should watch those, including the CW ones. Those are all on Netflix, and they're all up to date as of now. I think the new seasons start up like the same time school does for college, like same time-ish. So end of this month.
It's like the 27th.
Something like that, I don't know. I'm not in school anymore. I have no clue. So there is one show coming to CW that we looked up.
Teen Titans.
Yeah, and it actually looks really cool. And it's like it's the Dick Grayson Teen Titans. So in the comics, Damian Wayne is the Teen Titan Robin right now. But in this one, it is going to be Dick Grayson, which is cool because
so it's the Teen Titans when like we were children.
Yeah. So it'll be it showed Robin, it showed Starfire, it showed Raven, and it showed Beast Boy
and Red Hood. Or no,
Oh, and Red Arrow.
Yeah,
and
Red Arrow, not Red Hood. Yeah.
And it looks like Thea from The Arrow, which is Oliver Queen's sister, who is the Red Arrow.
Which would be cool. Or it could be that guy. What's that guy's name?
Diggle?
No, that was the Red Arrow.
Oh, Roy?
Thea. Yeah, Roy.
It looked like a girl, though. It looked like Thea in her suit. Anyways, it looks really cool. I'll try and, at least, if I don't leave a link here, I'll put a video, or at least a screenshot of something going on. Yeah. But there's a couple of trailers, and there's a couple cool ones where it shows Dick Grayson killing people, which is a big deal in the Batman universe.
Please, can you help me?
Where's Batman? Fuck Batman.
Killing is a big deal in superhero stuff, and it looks like he curb stomps a dude and he says "fuck Batman." So like, that's basically how Teen Titans starts.
It's a little edgy.
A lot of the times, but yeah, it is pretty edgy.
Which this is way different for CW. Actually, now that we're thinking about it.
Nah, the Arrow was kind of dark when it started.
Yeah, but it didn't like cuss like that. This is more like Netflixy.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much that makes it edgier.
I don't know.
Anyways,
it said edgy on the article we were reading.
It did. The article we found the link on said edgy Robin.
Yeah.
But it looks really cool. It looks like they didn't show Beast Boy turning into stuff, but they showed him turning green.
It showed his eyes.
It showed his eyes turning.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. Raven doesn't have black hair. Disappointed. No, but it looks cool. Starfire is not a white girl. She's a black girl. That's different.
That's really
diversity.
different.
That's nice. As long as she keeps the same weird speech pattern as the one from the cartoon, I really don't care.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
she
she doesn't know how to speak real English.
She had terms from where she was from,
Mm-hmm.
and she would use them. Everybody's like, "What, Starfire?"
Yeah, but there was no sign of Cyborg, so I doubt that's a thing. Because I don't know how.
I'm pretty sure they showed everyone that would be in it.
Yeah, I don't know how you would do Cyborg on TV without using $1 million per episode. So. Yeah. Like $1 million on him alone, CGI wise.
Yeah, they don't really have the budget for that.
But yeah, that's Teen Titans looks really cool. They're trying to do a lot of more stuff. Like they have that Teen Titans Go movie coming out, which I heard is okay. It's kind of like a Legos movie, but not Legos.
Not a fan of Teen Titans.
Yeah, so if you got a kid, you should go watch that. It's probably okay. I heard it's better than the TV show is. Like the Teen Titans Go TV show is really bad, but I heard the movie is better than the show.
I'll get into this. Teen Titans Go TV show is like trash because they don't even fight anybody.
I've never watched it.
It's literally them just being teenagers. Oh yeah, let's go get pizza, and it's them going to get pizza and their car may break down or something.
Oh really?
That's not an episode, but that is they're probably gonna take that and be like, oh yeah, that's gonna be episode 213 for us. They don't even fight people.
Man, you heard it here first. If you would like to come on and defend yourself, Teen Titans Go Rackers, you can. Russell's right here waiting.
Yeah. Come at me.
Mm-hmm.
Teen Titans is way better. Way better cartoon series.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited. There's a lot of new stuff coming out. There's a lot of new, like we were talking about in the superhero movie episode just before this. If you haven't watched it,
there's a lot happening for DC this next year.
There's a lot to explore. Little in the Batman universe alone, there's so much for stuff to touch on. You can make a TV show about almost every villain Batman comes in contact with.
Honestly,
there's a lot of depth in the comic.
There should be a Deathstroke one.
Well, Deathstroke's in a lot of stuff. He's in the Arrow. He's in the Arrow, and then he's Deadshot or Deadeye or whatever his name is also in that too. The Arrow has a lot of Batman villains and vice versa.
Yeah,
they go back and forth. But yeah, I think that's all the TV shows that we watch. At least, you got anything else to add?
No.
You never have anything to add. Oh, damn it. Okay, well, it's been about 30 minutes, not too long. Tried to cut these up in a couple parts instead of one long one. It would have been an hour and a half if we did all this together. So, appreciate you watching. Click the links in the bottom if you want to see what we were talking about. I'll try and link as much as I can. And we'll see you next time.
Later.
The Bozo and Bearded Experience, baby.